Okay, so today we're going to be looking at conversion. The other day we talked about customary conversion. Before we look at some practice problems, let's quickly review. So remember, whenever we start from large, mile is my largest unit in this case, and then inches will be my smallest. Okay, so remember we talked about when we are going from large to small, we multiply, and then when I go back up, small to large, we divide. This is going to be an important element when you're trying to figure out the amount for one unit. So we'll look at some practice problems together. We are strictly just looking at the box method on conversion in this video. I will make a separate video dealing with conversion using proportion. And again, that's where we want to go eventually. So first we will need to be able to complete my boxes. And so you can get your information from your boxes from your reference chart. We're only going to focus on customary right now, but again, it will be the same thing for feet, inches, and weight. The same process, okay? Let's go ahead and use that information. So we're going to talk about gallons. We start with my largest, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces. Next, we would need to know what to multiply by. Again, going to my reference chart. We know that 1 gallon has 4 quarts, so that's where we'll get our first number. And we'll continue all the way down until we use all of my numbers. So, times 4, times 2, times 2, and times 8. And we know we're going to multiply because, again, remember that rule? We talked about my largest to my smallest, we multiply. So if we're going the opposite way, from our smallest to our largest, we would divide. And we would use those same numbers. Now, let's look at a practice problem. Okay, so let's look at this first problem together. We have 14 cups is equal to how many quarts? So first of all, we're starting with my cups. So I would simply put my 14 in my cups box. Here goes 14 in my cup box. So in this case, then I would decide whether I'm going to divide or whether I'm going to multiply. In this case, I am going to divide to figure out how many pints is in my 14 cups. Divided by 2, that gives me 7 pints. From there, I would divide by 2 again because, again, we're trying to get 2 quarts. So I would go 7 divided by 2, and I get 3.5. Okay, let's look at these last two very quickly. So again, we're going to do the same process. This time we're starting with 2 quarts, and I'm going to ounces. So I'm going to just circle my ounces so I can know where I'm going. And we're at 2 quarts, so I'm going to put 2 right there. Since we're going to the right, since we're going from large to small, we're going to multiply. So 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8, and then 8 times 8 gives me 64 fluid ounces. Let's try one more. Okay, so let's quickly look at this last one really quickly. So in this case, we have 640 fluid ounces. And we're going to gallons. So I'm going to just circle my gallons so I can know where we're going. In this case, we're going from small to large, so I'm going to divide. 640 divided by 8, I get 80. And then I'm going to continue this process. So 80 divided by 2, I get 40. 40 divided by 2, I get 20. And then 20 divided by 4, I get 5. So my answer is 5 gallons. You can copy and paste this process to the other ones, dealing with length, dealing with volume and capacity, and also dealing with weight. And it works the same way. Just use your conversion chart to find the appropriate numbers that match up with the correct box. Practice and let me know how